Hey guys, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes. I know a lot of people are live. I feel like I have to do an appointment book and schedule myself in. All right. Hey Trixie Cat. Yeah, I know she was live. That's why I kept pushing back this live because I did not want to interfere with chasing truth and poor Scott. I feel so bad that he has COVID. I really pray that she does not get it and her kids do not get it. I'm going to touch on a lot of case updates. Well, not a lot, but a couple. But I have actually, Trixie, been going back and forth this morning and having arguments with people in the red bin in the back of the truck. So I want to touch on that as well. Yeah, I'm praying, Trixie. I just don't want to walk outside and get killed. Hey, sibling style, welcome in. I know a lot of people are live, but this is the only day I have to do this. Yeah, it's funny, guys. I actually called up to a Subaru dealership today, and let me show you also real quick. I actually sent Candace Hare a Facebook message. I'm going to show you guys real quick, asking her if she could please send me a picture of the tote. I don't think she's going to answer me. I hope she does, but I said to her, Candace, can you please send me a picture of the red object that is in the back of your car? Because so I called up the Subaru dealership today. I have a friend that works at one, and I sent him the picture of the tote, and he said to me that that is definitely not a Subaru. But I do want to touch on, let me go ahead and get that picture up because I'm just not seeing it. Yeah, I'm thinking that it's definitely a red tote. Well, sibling style, like I'm not a detective. I am not an FBI agent. I am actually a barber. And I just like to talk to people and find out what their opinions and thoughts are. But we don't have to do that with completely bashing people. Like I'm just not one to, talk down to people or to I don't have a lot of hate in me, so I don't want to sit there and I think these people are going through enough, her parents. I actually sent Don a Facebook message too, but I didn't think he was going to get back to me. That was right after the Chris Madonna interview. But right here, I can actually see the lip on the back of this in the tote. I mean, especially like through here. I mean, it's like a quarter. Oh my gosh, why am I even explaining this? A couple of people are like, I'm unsubbing to you. That is not a Subaru. I'm like, I mean, that's a Subaru. Dawn's stepsister zoomed in and showed the bumper stickers. Like, where are the bumper stickers? I just don't see it. Yeah, I'm just kind of like thinking I can see the windows. If you look up on the top left corner where it's got like that little hey surprise. Yeah, surprise. Somebody is mad and they're telling me that this is either the back or the front of a Subaru. But if you look to the left on the top corner, you can see it's the top of the topper. Let me see if I can turn this around. No, it's not going to do it. And then you can see the topper on the right of the bin. Am I mistaken? I can see the handles on the bin. Yeah, I'm not going to argue about it. If people want to get mad because I think it's a topper, then be mad. So let's get into a couple update, guys. I want to touch on little Michael Vaughan. And I can't see StreamYards. I am watching through my phone, so if I miss anyone, guys, sorry. Latest update on little Michael. Still nothing. Not too many updates on him. But I did find this interesting. What's cute, surprise? I like your name. Oh, him? He's adorable. He is missing from Fruitland, Idaho. 5 years old. But what I found interesting, and the only new thing that came out with Michael Vaughan was I didn't know he had a nanny. Did anybody know that he had a nanny? Jennifer Hannah. Let me just touch on a little bit of this article. So it says the residents of a rural Idaho town, 5,400 residents, have turned out in force to join authorities searching for a 5-year-old boy reported missing on July 27th. The whole community has come together, which we know. Jennifer Hannah, the missing boy's nanny, said at a vigil Friday night, "We got to find that kid," she said, speaking on behalf of his family. "We've got to." Yeah, I didn't know that he had a nanny. Yeah, he was playing outside. So the story with little Michael, they actually, let me see if they updated on this article. I might have to jump into the next one. No, here we go. So Michael Joseph Vaughan was last seen near his residence around 6:30 p.m. July 27th, about 2 hours before the first missing and endangered child alert went out to the area residents. Hey, Lippy. The babysitter's name is Jennifer Hannah, the missing boy's nanny. Some babysitters like the word nanny. But what I found interesting about that also is, was the nanny not there that night when he went missing? Because from what I'm gathering, the father was changing the baby's diaper. And then little Michael Vaughan just wandered off. First time I heard that too, I was reading this, just actually came out yesterday with this cute little new picture. He's so cute. And another thing too, guys, that I found really interesting was that his parents, the reason why they weren't at last Wednesday's press conference was because they didn't want to attend. If my child was missing, I would have burned every single field down in that area to find him. Like, I would have to be sedated. And they say 3,000 acres of farmland have been covered with canine teams, helicopters, drones, boats, paragliders. 29 miles of the riverbank, and the dive team was organized to search the ponds. Yeah, it might be Lippy. She might be a neighbor. I haven't looked into her to see where she lives. But another thing that I'm finding interesting is that they said they were going to drop a dive team to search in the Snake River, but nothing yet. Unless they feel they don't have to search the river. I wish I knew. I feel like calling up there and asking them why they're waiting. On the interview on that press conference last Wednesday, Police Chief J.D. Huff said that they were going to deploy teams into the Snake River. Let me close some of these tabs, guys. My computer is a little laggy. Yeah, I feel like he's getting no attention either. Or Xavier Harrelson. But we're going to touch on his story too, but there's no updates. I mean, there's just nothing. The only thing new as far as the Michael case is that a company has made t-shirts and they're selling them. Pound, bring monkey home. So it says here that my computer's laggy, guys. I'm sorry. So Anjay Williams and her partner Chris Lawrence are just a few who are doing everything they can to help. They began designing t-shirts of Michael to help spread the word. Posting flyers, they made t-shirts. So they say the money from the first 48 t-shirts sold will go to the family at Big Sky Sportswear. Each shirt will have a hashtag that says pound bring monkey home. You know, Sibling Style asked, why leave a small child outside alone? Now, they claim that little Michael used to get out of the house and kind of roam off a little bit. But there's a 45-minute gap to where they were supposedly changing his baby sister's diaper to when they realized he was gone. So it's a 6:15 to a 7 p.m. gap. And they were out that night searching. So it's, I don't know how far a little boy can go at 5 years old. Yes, the neighbor saw him, the neighbor that lives in the front of him that I showed on the last video. But 45, how do you not know that your kid is not around for 45 minutes, a 5-year-old, and you have a baby infant in the house and you're changing a diaper? It just doesn't make any sense. And how much they have searched. It makes me think of Dior Koontz. Exactly, Lippy. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. It makes me think of Dior Koontz. That little boy's been gone for 6 years. Taken from a campground, so his parents said. And there's not enough coverage either on Xavier. So basically, that's the latest on Michael. No updates. They did not deploy the dive team into the Snake River. And they are making t-shirts, and it's through Big Sky Sportswear. They don't tell you how to get the t-shirt. They don't tell you how much a t-shirt costs. But I will reach out to Big Sky Sportswear and see about the t-shirts because I would actually like to get one. It's very sad. All right, let's go look at Xavier Harrelson, another one that's not talked about. 11 years old, missing. Look at how slow my internet is today, guys. I apologize. I've got about 50 tabs opened. So, we all know that the trial for Kristen Bahena Rivera was denied for his new trial, thank gosh. Amy J. It was her mom's truck and she has left town. Amy, are you talking about Summer Wells and the red bin or the red Subaru? Because I'm not going to argue with people about that, guys. We all have our opinions, and if we can't be adults and have opinions and talk about our opinions without arguing, then I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not going to be a part of that and nastiness. She might be behind. She said it was her mom's truck. Yeah, her mom left. We know the little car, the truck that Summer is sitting in is gone. But Amy, I actually reached out to Candace. I don't think she's going to get back to me. But I did ask her if she could please tell me what that red bin is or what the red thing is in the picture behind Summer. And if she can send me a picture of it. So have you guys heard anything on Xavier Harrelson? Any new news that I'm missing? Because the only thing I've got for him is a fundraiser that was this last Wednesday. Not a word. Let me close these tabs that I'm not using so that it's not so laggy. I might have to pay my internet bill. I'm only kidding, guys. So the Pizza Ranch tip night only at the Grinnell location on August 4th. 4:30 to 7:30, all tips and proceeds from this event will be donated to the Xavier Harrelson Reward Fund. And I know that his reward now, they're saying that it's currently over $35,000. Net Detective, it's a tote, toolbox, or cooler. I know, Net Detective, I got yelled at. Lippy, my lights went out the other day, and I was like, did I pay my bill? I guess I'll never grow up enough to not think that. That's funny you say that, Lippy, because the other day I came out and my cable was not working, and my lights were off, and I thought, damn, did I miss like a couple of months of bills? But they had to actually take down the cable line to fix some pole out there or something. So nothing on Xavier. All tips at the restaurant will be donated to the reward fund for Xavier, which is currently over 35,000, and not even an update on what they made at the pizza place. Net, did you see my live about the remains that were found in Charleston, North Carolina? And that, I mean, I just wanted to touch on some updates instead of having to go through making videos, because today is the only day I have to play. And then it's back to work tomorrow. Let's look at that. Let's look at a couple of pictures that I took off of Grandma's Facebook page of summer. I want to touch on this one actually. Yes, Lippy. Did you hear about who the remains belong to? Yeah, I'm going to show you in a second, Lippy. We've already got identification on her. She is she's a woman in her 30s. No, I'm going to show you in a minute, but I want to touch on this picture of Summer Wells. Let me see how close I can get this face. Yes, I'm going to show you who she is in a second. Okay. Look at how dirty this little girl's face is. I think she is the cutest little thing in the world. I pray they find her soon or find answers. It looks like she ate a whole entire chocolate cake. Look at her face. And I saw comments. Look at her little face. It's like just around her face, right? So if you look at, so I took this off Grandma's Facebook page, and I couldn't believe the comments that were on the side about talking about how bruised she is. Now, I'm wearing glasses right now. I do not see bruises on this child. Am I missing something? That's a birthmark. This looks like a little birthmark or maybe a scar. This is a little girl that has three older brothers that chases them on mopeds, swings on the swings. I just don't see, in my opinion, that she looks abused. I hear you, Lippy. It's just, that's why I love Chasing Truth so much, because her and I totally are on the same page. And this picture I love. Looks like Grandma's hands. I'm not going to speculate, but by the age, look at her little face. Yes, Lippy. I know. I've seen you around, Lippy. I've seen you around a lot, girl. A lot. I love the way they dressed her. She's like you know what they remind me of, guys? They remind me of like a gypsy family. Like they could just pack up and move. They don't need a lot to live. And it looks like to me that Summer's missing one of her front teeth here, like a baby tooth fell out. I see a happy kid too. Let me show you one more picture. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this one. I love this one. Aw, thanks, Lippy. Yeah, I do some videos and stuff. I don't speculate and go on these crazy wild conspiracy theories. So obviously this is the same day that she took a picture with Grandma because she kind of has the same outfit on. Aw, thanks, Lippy. That family has been this family has been more than destroyed. Whatever the end's going to be, as far as God forbid, I'm praying that somebody hid Summer because they were afraid that DCF was coming. But why wouldn't they hide all the kids? She loves butterflies. I have a butterfly tattoo on my back. But look at the boys' faces. Let's just go in. He looks happy. I look at his body. He's wearing pants. You really can't see, but these kids do not look mistreated to me. Little Summer. Oh, do you? On your ankle, Lippy? Cool. Exactly, Trixie. For people, look at the smiles on them. He looks like the one on the far right. I'm not sure of the boys' names. I just know that the little one on the left is Wyatt, right? Because I love that name. In the plaid shirt, that's Wyatt. Cute as can be. I'm just not seeing it. It was funny in the beginning. I thought the two older boys were twins, but now you can see the one in the middle is the 12-year-old. Yeah, if I was them, unfortunately, they can't do anything now, but they're probably going to have to move to Iceland or Greenland to get away from this craziness. I was on Grandma's Facebook page. Let me go to, and I was reading some of the comments, and it just broke my heart. Like, how could you post that on this woman's page until you actually know what's going to be the end result? So these kids can see it too. Okay, so let me show you the remains that were found. Now, this breaks my heart because this morning I went and I looked to see if anybody called her in missing in like every single county in Tennessee. I was busy. And not one. Yeah, Lippy, I don't do Facebook. Josie 12, Wyatt 11, and Waylon 9. I love those names. So, Net Detective and Lippy, I'm not sure if you guys know, but this is the lady. Bradley County Sheriff's investigator have identified the body found last week in a farmer's field near Charleston. They say the woman was 32-year-old Carissa Diane Hamby of Cleveland, Tennessee. The body was found on Thursday morning on Lower River Road. The autopsy was completed on Monday. The sheriff's office says the cause of death is still under investigation. So this is the lady the remains belong to that was just left in the field. I have not seen her family speak out. I have searched high and low. Maybe they're still in shock. I don't know how she was identified so fast. A lot of people in the live the other night said that maybe she is a street girl and she's got her fingerprints in those databases where the street girls put their fingerprints in to keep them safe in case they go missing. Net detective says, what is her stats? Married, single, unreal. She wasn't reported missing. I can't find anything on her. I have not done a background check on her yet because I feel like I'm violating like a situation. I'm just not there yet. But as far as like every county, and I looked in missing people in every county and NamUs, I just can't find her. Yes. So that's how I'm thinking that maybe she was found, identified so quickly, as maybe her fingerprints were in the street girl database. I don't want, you know what I'm saying. So that's the girl, Net. Yeah, Net was like coming in with the scanners. That was great. She definitely has a family. I mean, she didn't come from an alien. Somebody gave birth to her. She's 32 years old. She is the age of, well, a year younger than my oldest child. And she's just found in a field. And it was something about, I don't know if the skull was not there. I think what they said was the skull was really, really badly bashed in. Yeah, Trixie Cat, absolutely heartbreaking. But it's like one of those bittersweet deals where you think, oh, I don't want it to be Summer, but my gosh, it's somebody. It's somebody's family member, right? Net detective, yep, that place what kept me up till 5 a.m. A lot of drugs in Bradley County. 5 a.m. Lippy, I'm just going on what I heard in the live the other night. They have not come out and said it yet, but they said that her skull was heavily beaten in. Yeah, Lippy, net detectives on the scanners. And then he came. Then she, Net, are you a girl or a boy? I'm not trying to be rude. I just can't tell by your name if you're a female or a male. Amy J. So is the red tote different from the black one that was supposedly? Amy J. I don't know. Let's go back to that red tote picture again. Anyone can have their opinion. Like, I don't, but even they say that this little silver gold circular emblem. Now, if that was on the back of a Subaru or the front of a Subaru, wouldn't it be centered? Like, why is it all the way to the left? I mean, unless the factory put it on wrong, I just. Oh, okay. Net sounds like a girl now. Oh, shoot. So the guy went. So Ned says domestic call. He was bleeding, got in a fight with the wifey, and the dog took him out. So the dog. Okay, I figured after when he started talking. So the boyfriend went to beat up his girlfriend, and the girl's dog kicked the boyfriend's butt. That is epic. Oh, well, that's not. Well, I mean, I guess it's karma for putting your hands on somebody, right? I mean, is he gonna live, or is he losing a finger, or did he like get his face bitten off? Bleeding bad. All the police said yes, he admitted a domestic. Good dog. Lippy, that's why badass dogs are good. Exactly. Lost a lot of blood, but he's okay. Well, I guess it will teach. It will next time you go to put your hands on a woman, think about that dog bite. I am Coyote. This looks like a red tote with cement garden pavers in it to me, anyways. Yeah. The only thing, okay, let's just say that it was. How is a Subaru? Okay, look at the length of the bed right past the back seat. It takes up the whole window. Can you see my mouse or no? Yes. This line. So this is between the back bed, the back seat going into the bed. You can see two windows. I can see that this red tote, like Net said last time, is in between two windows. I can get closer. I don't even think it's the emblem, girl. I think it's something that's stuck in front of it or underneath it or a piece of paper. Ned says that is a cooler full of those twisted teas. Like I said, I showed earlier, I sent Candace a Facebook message. I just said to her, I'm not looking for a friend request. I'm not here to talk about your daughter or your grandbaby or say anything negative. I just would really love for you to tell me what that red thing is in this picture and send me a picture of it. You can literally see the lips, especially on this right side. You can see that it's sitting in the back of a truck. You can even see on the bottom left, there's something behind it. Is that milk? To me, it looks like a tote with some of Grandma's stuff that she travels with when she goes back and forth wherever she goes. I just don't see a red truck. Maybe a red 5-year-old's truck, one of those little cars that start up and go like a Barbie car. Yeah, it's in her camper too, Net Detective. When you told me that the last time, I was looking at it. Like I said, the upper left-hand corner, you can see the top of the topper. You can see the topper on the far right corner. And you can tell the picture's on an angle when they took it. And then there's something to the left of it, like it looks like almost like a garbage bag right to the left of the tote. And then there's something back behind the tote on the left-hand side. And you can see the back window. Lippy's laughing. I am Coyote. Looks like a red tote is sitting in a larger black tote to me. Yeah, what it's sitting in is a back of to what I think it is. It could be in a bigger black tote. You're correct, but I think that's actually sitting in the back of the bed. Yes. So where are the bumper stickers? Do you guys know where? I didn't watch Unmasked the other night. I really don't want to hear those horrific stories about Don's past. Where are the bumper stickers? What am I missing? You're right, less than 3 feet wide. You can see it clear as day. Look on the right-hand side. You can see the lip. Where are the tires? Where is the wheel wells? No bumper stickers. Interesting, right? Okay, so the West Boys. I got a little update, but it's not a big update, guys, unfortunately. Another, where are the boys? Another story that breaks my heart. Lippy says, bumper sticker says, if you are riding my ass, make sure you pull my hair. All right, guys, I'm going to play this video. I'm pretty sure I have sound on. And let's hear the update is the fact that little Orin West had a birthday. When the video starts, guys, just make sure that you can hear it. And if you can hear it, just let it go. And if you can't hear it, then say you can't hear it. If not, I'm going to let it play. I Am Coyote says, oh, does the red Subaru have window stickers? I don't know. Something about Dawn's stepsister T said that she cammed in and she could see like the bumper stickers on it. I don't see bumper stickers. I mean, I know I'm old and I wear glasses, but I don't see bumper stickers. Okay, let's watch this video. It's only a minute long.
And 230 days since 3-year-old Orson and 4-year-old Orrin West were reported missing from their home in California City, and the community is still searching for answers. Tonight, relatives and residents held a birthday celebration for Orrin, who turned 5 years old on Wednesday. Orrin and Orson West were named Sincere and Classic West at birth. Their adoptive parents changed their names. Community members honoring Orrin with his birth name, Sincere. A crowd gathering at Skateland in South Bakersfield for the event, keeping hope alive of finding the boys.
Today, I just wanted to do a birthday awareness for both of them, to keep awareness out there so this case won't go cold. If we don't be the voice for these kids, it's going to go cold.
We're still fighting for answers. We still looking for the boys. We're keeping our hopes alive. We just want to bring the boys home, find them. It's been almost 8 months and still nothing.
The community is offering a $125,000 reward for information that leads to Orrin and Orson West. If you know anything about their whereabouts, you're encouraged to call the current secret witness line using the number on your screen. That's 322-4040.
That's funny that you say that, I Am Coyote, because as soon as I saw Roro, I'm like, oh, it's Roro. Can you imagine how long those boys have been missing and you don't hear about Jacqueline, you don't hear about Trezell? I wonder if they're still in protective custody. Surprise, it looks like a smaller red tote inside a big black tote, and they are in a truck with camper shell. That's exactly what I thought. I don't know if it's in a big black tote in the back, but I know that it's I'm thinking a red bin in the back of a pickup truck with a topper. But people want to dig. People want to dig on Don's Wells' legs, and I'm like, what in the world does this man's legs have to do with his child missing? Oh, you're right. Trixie Cat says children don't just vanish. Somebody knows something. You're correct. And now everyone is going on that little smidget where Don said, he thinks that somebody took her in the beginning, and then he says, and maybe she put her in her car. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That little piece that everyone's playing? Now, I did go back and listen to that a few times on slow motion, and it does sound like he does say her car. With that, I can't even deny it. I hear him say her car. There's no question there. True crime with Libby. His legs are relevant because his sister Mary said that when he was using heroin, he had track marks all over his legs. I guess that's relevant if you're going to discuss about him being a drug addict, but I don't know why we have to pick on his legs in order to find what happened to Summer. Believe me, I don't think Don's an angel. By no means. I do not think Don is like a straight A person, but he has issues. I don't like his past. I find it absolutely disgusting. But all I want to know is what happened to Summer. Somebody knows something. I Am Coyote. That is what truth or hearsay about the I understand true crime with Libby, but I just can't bash somebody's legs for 4 hours. It's just I think it's actually taking the focus off what is important, but that's my opinion. And I love everyone that has different opinions. You guys have different opinions. I think that's great. I'm not going to dislike you because we don't agree on something. That's healthy. Everyone is not going to agree on everything, or this world will be boring. True crime is like, so we read that. I am Coyote. Is that truth or hearsay, though? Are you asking about his legs? Or, hey, Kathy Newell. I don't know about his legs. I mean, I'm old. I'm 49. I lost a sister to a drug overdose in June 2020. I've seen people that have been addicts. I myself have never been an addict, so I can't relate to needle usage. Like, I had to sit on my mother's lap to get my COVID shot, and I'm 49 years old. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, please hold my hand. Oh, I don't want to get a needle. She's like, oh my gosh, you're a baby. But I've never known people to put needles in their legs. Oh, I don't see. That's what I don't know. I am Coyote. I'm not going on anything the sisters are saying. I personally, when they came out with that whole entire Don molested them as children, I thought to myself, why on God's earth are you putting that on social media? Oh, I love South Africa, Kathy. I actually have some family in Johannesburg. I've never been, though. I mean, have you guys ever known users maybe you guys work in a drug rehab center, or you're counselors, or you know somebody in their legs? True crime with Libby. I have not listened to the sisters. I just do not. You want to know why I can't listen? Because I can't listen to that whole entire thing of being like, even the part where Don says about it, just my stomach turns and I feel like I'm going to get sick. Kathy says too dangerous at the moment. Yeah, I've seen that. I am Coyote. The timing is just so odd for them to bring it up now. If they were concerned, they maybe should have brought it up sooner. Let me see something. I am going to look. I'm going to look and see. Don't mind Lenny Kravitz as my screensaver. I know he's cute, right? I thought when people did drugs on the legs, they put it between the toes. Net detective, that Don Buchanan started that crap, getting it off of Chris Channel. That Don B making up crap and saying he's talking with TBI, which is BS. Kathy, too many twisted stories in this case. A lot of twisted stories. True crime with Libby. I am Coyote. I mean no respect, but if you listen to their interviews, you will understand that. But do you agree, Libby, that they should have put that on social media? You don't think that maybe they should have taken that like to the TBI or the FBI? I just didn't think it was cool to put that out there like that. Okay, they took it to the TBI. But why blast it on social media? I see. This is why people are allowed to agree. This is why. I think they should have maybe kept it private instead of going on people's panels and doing, especially at a time now with Summer missing. I just kind of, in my opinion, thought it was maybe a little inappropriate the way it was done. You know what? Let's go look at, as a matter of fact, let's go look at Don's history, because I have it. I don't go on Facebook groups. I go and I lurk to see if anything is new. But as far as leaving comments and reading all of that, it just makes me sad. But let's go look at Don Wells' history. Let me find it. I did find out who Donald's wife was. I started a little tree. And I did find Candace's birth certificate. Candace Bly. Let me share my screen. I'm just going to hop onto Been Verified because all right. I am Coyote. I have listened. I have been abused too, but they went to the TBI and talked to them about Don's past. No reason to bring it on YouTube. Yeah, I just think it could have been handled differently. So True Crime Libby says, I'm not saying it was a great move, but they are genuine concerned that Don harmed Summer based on what he did to them. I am sure they are beating themselves up for not coming out sooner. And you could be right. That could be the whole entire situation. I forgot that my little dog was in her bed undercover and I heard something like snoring and I was like, what is that? And my little 3-pound, she sounds like a Great Dane. So here's what we got. 2007, he had possession of a controlled counterfeit substance without a prescription, 3rd degree. Pled guilty. It was a plea bargain. 2007. True Crime says, but when you hear them tell how Don's father did not respond responsibly to protect them when they told him as children, you may only understand if you have been. See, I have never been. I'm sorry. I can't relate to that. I'm sorry for everyone who has. I did, with Don's father protecting him, like, shame on him. Believe me, they're not perfect at all. It definitely, I know for a fact from reading his criminal history, in my own opinion, that he's been doing drugs for a long time. Burglary, theft, that all lines up to drugs, in my opinion. Sharon says, oh no, they are messy as a family. It muddles the waters as far as finding Summer. Donald Wells' father isn't speaking to the sister. Is it Jeannie? I don't know, Sharon, but I bet you True Crime with Libby knows. Net detective, anything is possible in Summer's case, but Ellie needs to prove who was involved or who took her or who harmed her. I agree. Kathy, the druggies or whatever, my gut says something happened by accident and covered up. That's what I'm going with. I just can't imagine them hurting her, in my opinion. I just see maybe something happened and they covered it up, but I think they would have broke by now. And when I did see Don's video of the basement door leading out, like, that's scary. I mean, they had a lot of tree workers. What if a tree worker's friends or somebody were visiting them or they were hanging out on the job? Like, it could be so many things. I am Coyote sounds as if Don's stepdad was a piece of cake too, very abusive. I don't think any of these families are like a loving, touching, caring, compassionate family. Not even on Candace's side. Trixie Cat, I just know. I don't know if the parents are involved or not, or law is based on innocent until proven guilty. Exactly. I'm not sitting here, on Don Wells' side whatsoever. What he did was disgusting. It makes my skin crawl. Is how it makes me feel. It's the only way to describe it. And like I said before, do I think Don abused Candace? I think he abused her mentally. I think he Reminds me of my uncle. Like I said, comes home, he drinks a 12-pack of beer, he smokes a little marijuana, the wife puts the dinner on the table, deals with the kids, keeps the house clean, and he gets up at 6 in the morning, goes to work all day, and he comes home and does the same thing. You're right, True Libby, and I agree with that. I love everyone having their own ideas. That's what makes it interesting, because we can all have our own ideas, but we don't have to fight and hate each other if we have separate ideas. This case could go any which way. Could be Don, could be Candace, could be Grandma, the neighbor, someone in the church, a stranger, an accident. Who knows? Exactly how I feel. I am Coyote. So let's just look at the rest of Don's record. So he broke into someone's house in 2007, non-trial, not guilty was the court plea. Net Detective says, I do think the parents love their children. They are not the best parents, but I do think I think they love their children. But what I'm saying is they're not a touchy, lovey, feely, I love you, kissing, hugging, holding hands. Like, I don't see that in the family. Oh, that's scary, True Crime Libby. Since you didn't hear their interview, I will tell you, Don chased Mary around the house with two of his friends, ripping her clothes off. She filed a police report, and her dad made her. Now, I did listen to Mary's interview on Unmasked. I do remember her saying that she had a scare with Don and Don's friends, but she did not say at that time, a week ago or so, what the reason was, unless I tuned out and I missed it. But that's disgusting what Don did to his sisters and the little 5-year-old. And I can't even think about it. It's gross. But does that make Don, because that happened with Don with his sisters, does that make the fact that Don did something to Summer? He made her retract it. True Crime with Libby says. I am Coyote. Listened to it this morning. So Mary came on the other night while T was on Unmasked. This was the one that was like last night. Mary joined the panel. Do I think he grew out of it? I don't know. I'm not a professional. I would like to think, okay, here, let me say this. I don't know what happened to Summer. I don't know if Don said something. I don't know if Candace did something. I don't know if they covered up an accident, if the tree man took her off the back basement door. But I would like to think that Don and Candace would not hurt their baby. I would like to think that. Kathy, scary. He stated Summer slept in bed with him and Candace for the whole entire 5 years. He said that she had to be right in between them. Yep. True Crime with Libby, I don't think Don is a nice person. I don't want you to think that I think Don is a good person or a nice person. I think he definitely has a past. I think he has definitely done some shitty, disgusting things. And he might even get charged with what he did to his sisters back in the day. I don't know if they have, what is it called when you can wait so long to put charges on somebody? I forget what that word is. I know one of you guys know. Statute of limitation. Thank you. I am Coyote. Exactly. I don't know. Okay, so there's no statute in Utah. So you know what? If that happened, then he needs to go to jail. He needs to pay for the crime he did. It is disgusting. And he needs to be registered as a sex offender. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So then he's got forgery. He's got theft by receiving stolen property. That's interesting, right? So somebody gave him stolen property. And this is no date on this one. This one's always probably tying together. 2001. Forgery. Not specified. 78403 Battery in Hillsborough County, Florida. Now, this is the one I find interesting. Do you guys know who Don's first wife was? Have you heard of her name? Pamela Chavers, I think. Okay, let me go to my little family tree that I started on. And you guys are going to love Candace Hare's high school picture. One sec, let me. So let's just make sure real quick before I move on. Let's just finish with his little. So he's a thief, 1983, with intent to steal. Obviously, he got caught. Berg with intent theft, Harris County, Texas. Probation termination. Possession of marijuana, 1982. Theft, burglary. Suspended license, theft by receiving property. He's a thief and he's a drug addict. That's what I get from this. But nowhere on here does he have a charge for meth. So let's get back into Hillsborough County. I'm curious to know what a 78403 Battery is, because this is the county that he married his wife in. Let me stop sharing. All right, 1 second. So he was married to, I actually have his marriage document. 1 sec. Let me see the date. Look at Candace Hare's high school picture. Let me look at comments. Yeah, typical addict. Burglary, stealing, breaking and entering, taking stolen goods to go bring to the pawn shop. He was using heroin, not meth, according to Mary, who, by the way, knows more than any of us who don't know him at all. I mean, hasn't it been to the point where Mary has never even met the kids? Like, she's never met Summer? Candace was on meth. Yeah, not to be mean, Candace, if you happen to see this, I'm sorry, but you can tell by her mouth that she was definitely a meth addict. Sharon says, oh no, I hope everyone gets justice that deserves justice. Absolutely. But let's go look at Don real quick. Let's go see Don's wife. And he was married in the same county. Let's see if this changes. Hopefully I don't have to share screen again. There we go. So Don has one. I can't find the marriage certificate on Candace or Don, but I did find this one. Right here. Donald Wesley Wells Jr., spouse Pamela Ann Chavers. The county of marriage is Hillsborough, Florida. Florida Department of Health. True Crime with Libby. She has not met Summer, but she grew up with him. She also saw him in October with Josie when he left the camper. Yes, I heard about that. I did watch Mary's interview, asking Josie about school and stuff, and he was really quiet. There were used needles in it. Yeah. And Texas EquiSearch Raider said that there were a lot of needles around that area. Like, that's scary. Like, who is doing needles out there in the tree line? Don's son is a level. Yes, I know all about this son. I've looked into him. And then I heard a couple of stories with Don's son. One story was that he was dating the girl. She got pregnant, and then he turned his birthday, he turned into an adult. She was still a minor, and like the mom pressed charges. Like, I just, you hear so much that you don't know what's true. But I do know that he's on the sexual offenders list. I've seen him. I've looked up to him. Little Don Wesley Jr. the third. But Donald's first wife was Pamela Ann Chavers. And let me go see what that, I'm curious to see what that code is. Okay. Mary said mom pressed charges as her daughter was prego. How old was she? When he turned 18, how old was the girlfriend supposedly at the time? True Crime with Libby, I saw that, and it's definitely not good. And I also heard that he was in Utah, right, at the time of, I'm just looking at what this code is, in Florida. To see what it means, that V. Okay. Okay, let's see what this is about. And then, guys, I am going to wrap it up. I want to see what happens in Hillsborough County because of the fact that they got married in Hillsborough County, Florida, and he's got this charge around the same time he was with his first wife. So let's see what this is. Okay, so it's a section 784.03 battery, felony battery. The offense of battery occurs when a person actually and intentionally touches or strikes another person against the will of the other, or intentionally causes bodily harm to another person, except as provided in subsection. A person who commits battery commits a misdemeanor of the first degree, punishable as provided in the sections. A person who has one prior conviction of battery, aggravated battery, or felony battery, and who commits any second or subsequent battery commits a felony of the third degree. Person who commits a battery in furtherance of a riot or an aggravated riot prohibited under 870-01 commits a felony of the third degree. So I'm guessing that it's the first one. Actually and intentionally touches or strikes another person against the will of the other or causes bodily harm to another person. And that is what the charge is in Hillsborough County, Florida. And that is where he lived with his wife. And I can't even find a divorce on Pamela and Donald Wells, and I can't find the marriage license on Candace and Donald Wells. Actually, the only thing I can find on Candace is some property, like a census where she lived in Utah, where she lived in Wisconsin, and her birth record. Let me see what's going on in the comments. No, I think it's disgusting, true crime with Libby. I think that it's disgusting if he did it 100 years ago and he's a vampire. It's completely disgusting. I don't agree with it. But what I'm saying too is it looks like, I'm not sure, because I used to live in South Florida, so I know in Florida, if you get in a domestic violence and let's just say that your husband and you have a fight and the cops come and your husband gets a domestic violence charge, if you drop those charges, the state of Florida will pick them up. Disgusting. I'm not a Donald Wells fan. Let's not think I am. I think what he did is disgusting. But what I'm also seeing here that I have not heard about is the charge for the battery is in Hillsborough County. Him and his wife lived in Hillsborough County, Florida. So my question is, did he beat up his wife? I'm going to have to look into it now and find out. Yes, I researched that true crime with Libby in Utah and in Tennessee. You can drop the charges. Hey, Shreddertainment, we were almost wrapping up. That's what I heard. I did Google it because I thought to myself, why would the charges be dropped or dismissed? And it was funny because the charges for the domestic abuse were dropped and the charges for having the gun were dropped. I didn't understand that. How the gun charge got dropped as well. The gun that was found in his truck or something that he wasn't supposed to have. The same time he was arrested for the domestic violence charge against Candace. And then 4 days later, she dropped the charges. But the gun charge got dropped. We went over a lot, Shredder. I talked about Michael's new update, which is really nothing. Xavier Harrelson, which is sadly nothing. The West Boys. Lauren had a birthday, and now we're talking about the red Subaru / Tote in the picture, Donald's record, and Donald's first wife. Financial support. I will wait. Okay, so Shreddertainment says, "Hey, Monkey Babes, glad I caught you. I'm worried about Don Jr.'s kids now too. I will rewatch this live. Which Don Jr.? Did the one that's married to Candace or his son?" Financial support. I don't know, Kathy, if it's financial support. I don't know anything about this case. Don's Don. Oh, I don't know. I really pray every night that they could find answers, and we could figure out what happened to poor little Summer Wells. But people, I understand Summer's missing and I want her to be found, but there's, poor little Michael Vaughan. Like, where is he? I mean, the little boy didn't walk out in his little Minecraft shirt, boxers, and size 11 little sandals in that little neighborhood and just disappear. They have over 60 video footage to go through in the Michael Vaughan case. Okay, Lippy, drive safe. She stated in an interview he supports them. Supports who, Kathy? I'm sorry. True crime with Libby, you're not kidding, these missing kids. And whenever I think of Michael Vaughan, I go back and I think of Dior Koontz. Let's go have a look at little Dior. Let's go see little Dior. Another one that blows my mind. He just had the 6th anniversary where he's been missing. Hang on, monkey butt. Let's go check out this video real quick. This breaks my heart. This one right here. 6 years. Could you imagine if this 6 years ago, YouTube was the way it is now and the drama, and they were going after Koontz's family? Like, where is this little boy? You just can't make it up. There's so many kids missing. If I showed you guys the statistics around the world of how many kids are missing, it would blow your mind. Let's check out this video real quick. Okay, so let me catch up. If he was still charged, he would violate his parole, so maybe they didn't him a solid. I don't know, Lippy. I'm not going to speculate on anything. I'm not going to talk about Don's legs and his veins sticking out. And I'm going to say this. I don't know about drugs. And if those are track marks, why on God's earth are you not wearing pants? Why would you walk around with the legs hanging out like that? Kathy, yes, I agree. Summer is so big. There's so many other cases out there. He looks after his family by working and seeing food on the table. He does. I do not look in those pictures and see those kids are abused. But you know what? A lot of kids can hide it. I have never had that around me personally in my family. So I can't relate to that personally. So I don't know if the kids will look happy or look sad. But the one thing that bothered me was the picture of Summer in the bathing suit with her dirty face. And the comments under Candy Hare's Facebook page are just mind-blowing to me. Shredder says, did you see that video about Reverend Donna seeing the bear eat his poor baby? I thought they found his remains in a bear cave. No, I have not seen that, but I am going now. See what you did, Shredder. Now I'm going to be looking into Reverend Donna, and I'm probably going to be down a rabbit hole I'm never going to get out of. I am Coyote. If those are track marks, it was probably him hiding in that dang shit that day, then probably his heroin den. Okay, thank you, Shredder. I'm gonna have to look into that now. Even do you guys remember? And we won't even talk about Susan Morphy. That blew my mind yesterday. I can't even go there. I'll be on live for 5 hours. But remember when the special coyote and mountain lion people were on the profiling evil, and they said that if she was drug away, they would know, they would see it. The spy pen. Oh, I can't. True crime, Libby, you can go back and watch my videos. I've said that. You can watch my Summer Wells videos. I have said it. There's a couple of pictures in her little face that she looks sad. I've said it. Clothing, shoes, torn up, something. I don't think the bear would eat the clothes. I mean, I don't know. But I said that, Libby. You can ask. You can go back to all of my videos. I don't bash anyone. Well, I did make fun of Candace's teeth one time because I just couldn't believe that her teeth were that bad. And that's why I personally thought maybe she didn't want to do an interview because she was getting so much hate that she didn't want to get more hate. I've seen it in Summer's eyes. And her at the church on one of my videos where all the girls are wearing dresses and bows and she's got on khakis and a shirt. I've said it. I see a little sadness in Summer's eyes. There's no question. But I want to think positive, and I want to think that maybe they hit her because of DCF getting involved. So who in here doesn't know the story of Dior Koontz Jr.? Oh, true crime with Libby. You don't have to, girl. I'm telling you, I love all opinions. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my God, I can't stand this girl. How in the F can she possibly think that? I'm not like that. I respect you and I respect your opinion. It's an opinion, but what my point is I don't think people have to hate each other and fight with each other if they have different opinions. That's all. I love new ideas. What you're saying, you make absolute sense to me. Now you're honestly making me have to go watch the Unmasked video from last night, and I'm going to blame you, Libby, because I really didn't want to watch it. All right, guys, let's just check out this little Koontz real quick. I'm not a Don fan. I'm not a Don fan at all. I just, I'm going to say one more thing is I think they're street smart. I don't think they're book smart. I think Don has definitely said some slippage in his interviews, especially the in her car. Like, I'm telling you guys, I had to put it into my video programmer and I had to rewind that thing 100 times because I thought, my gosh, he did say her car. How would that even slip out? That's a big slip in my opinion. I'm going to agree. Libby. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, Shreddertainment. I was kind of holding back because I just don't want to be disgusted. I'm disgusted enough with this case. Okay, so this was published July 2nd, 2021. And there's a couple of little videos here. We're not going to watch all of them. Actually, I am going to drop this link in StreamYards. So if you guys who do not know the story of this little boy can check this page out. I am just going to do the top video. True crime, I feel for Candace, though, my theory is that she has lived in poverty and been abused her whole life, then replicated that with Don. I agree with you, Libby. I don't think that I think her mom fed them, clothed them, and I'm talking about Candace Cora Hare. But I don't think that Candace had the love and the nurturing growing up. It doesn't seem like her mom was the type that, made clothes for her, made cupcakes, and combed her hair, braided it, and gave her lots of loves and hugs and kisses. I don't feel compassion at all in the family. I agree. Yeah, the whole story of her mom leaving, I don't understand. I mean, if my child was missing and my mom left, I would completely freak out. And they can say it's for a doctor's appointment and pain management or I'm going to be honest, guys, and you guys might get mad at me. My first initial thought was when she went to the hospital, she tried to get pain pills. And then somebody had informed me you can't get pain pills at the hospital in Tennessee. So maybe she had to go back up to Wisconsin. Supposedly she's helping a friend. But maybe she had to go up there and see her doctor and get some more pain pills. I don't know. Maybe grandma's on pain pills too. Yeah, my mother wouldn't leave me. I just know that for a fact. But now if my mother was an uncompassionate addict that liked to take hydrocodones, Percocets, whatever, opiates, okay, that's a better word, okay. and she was an addict and she only had to go back there in order to refill a prescription or deal with that, I just don't know how she thinks. I can't tell you how Candace Hare thinks. She's in Illinois. Yes, that's what I heard. I'm glad the boys are out of that situation too, Libby. I'm very, very glad that they're out. And hopefully, if they were home that day, if they went to with work with Don that day, and Candace's story is not the truth, then I'm sure they're going to get it out of the boys. Or I'm going to push play on this, guys. This story breaks my heart. I still don't even know what to think of this story, but I want to play this one because what I'm praying for, this little boy vanished on July 10th, 2015 while visiting Timber Creek Campground in Utah. No. Is it Utah or is it Oregon? Utah. Idaho, I'm sorry. Same place where little Michael Vaughan went missing. I follow so many cases, I have no idea who's who. But here we go.
Drugs are rampant in East Idaho, and we see their destructive nature everywhere. America Health Recovery and Detox is here with our medical detox and intensive program where those affected receive daily care from both medical providers and substance abuse professionals.
All right, so I am here with Lemhi County Sheriff Steve Penner. We've known each other for 6 or 7 years now. Sheriff, you've been in law enforcement most of your career, or all of your career, right?
Well, it's a little over 20 years.
20 years.
A little over.
And what type of experience do you have as far as the cases you've covered?
Well, we have the same type of cases everybody else does, just not in the numbers. So we work a lot of drug cases, a lot of those kind of, some property crime. We do have a pretty active search and rescue unit that we end up with a lot of lost folks.
Yeah, especially in the summer, I would imagine, because for those people that aren't familiar with Salmon, Idaho, or your county, Lemhi County, what's the area like?
Well, it's very mountainous, a lot of roadless area, some wilderness area, even some of the more accessible is still extremely rugged and remote.
It'd be impossible to walk around your entire county, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's 4,500 square miles, and there's a little over 8,000 residents. So that gives you an idea how rural and rugged it is.
It's huge. It's a beautiful Idaho country. People come to fish, they come to hike, they come to hunt. That kind of sets the stage for Lemhi County. Take us back to July 10th of 2015. Hard to believe, nearly 6 years ago.
Nearly 6.
What were you doing that day? Tell me how you learned that a little boy was missing.
I was actually on another call, and dispatch called me and said we have a missing child up on Timber Creek.
Timber Creek Campground?
Yes.
Describe the campground area.
It's kind of a little bit of a sagebrush flat along a creek. There's a creek that flows through it. There's a lower and an upper campground. This was the lower campground. It's a very rough 7-mile drive from the decent part of the road, I guess. And it's 7,500 feet in elevation.
No cell phone signal.
Very spotty, and it's better now than it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's considerably improved.
What surprised me when I went up there is how far off the beaten path it is. To get up there, you've got to have an SUV or an ATV. I guess you could try to get up there in a little sedan, but
yeah, they've improved the road a little bit since then also. So
okay.
It's not quite as. It was really rough, but during that time.
Yeah. Okay. So it's remote. A beautiful little creek. If you want to escape the world. You can go up there. You're on another call and you get a notification that there's a missing boy.
Yes.
And what happened from there?
I got one deputy heading that way, and then we activated the search and rescue unit. And I actually, that first evening, I actually stayed in town just to procure assets and equipment that they were asking for on the scene, like the divers and the helicopter and those sorts of things.
So you were able to mobilize pretty quickly, even though it was so remote.
Well, for that part of the world, yeah. I mean, it's still, a fair amount of time, but within a few hours, we had quite a few assets working and on the ground.
When you got the call, what type of information came in?
Well, there was the initial call. It was just that he was missing, and it wasn't till we had people up there that we got a little bit more, and kind of the story started to unfold.
And what was that story?
That they had left him in the care of the grandfather and gone fishing for a little bit, and when they came back, they couldn't find him.
And Grandpa thought that he was with them?
That's one of the stories.
One of the stories.
Yeah, I think he said I thought he was with you, I think was what he had said.
So you stayed down in town to try to mobilize, get equipment that would be needed.
Yes.
The nightfall comes, he still isn't found.
Right.
The next day is Sunday.
Yes.
And is that when you went full on with searchers?
Well, we had even that later that afternoon and that night on the 10th, we ended up with about 70 people, and we had people diving in the reservoir, and we had around 70 people on foot, ATVs and things like that. And the helicopter came in, and even after dark, the helicopter had FLIR capability, so they flew after dark quite a bit also.
And that helicopter out of Montana, right?
Yes.
That would have been able to see, is it kind of like heat mapping where
that's my understanding. They can actually recognize even what type of animal that it is that they're seeing. They're very good.
So yeah, very sophisticated. And helicopter, no sign of any child.
Correct.
And there were also searchers on horseback.
Not until the next day, I don't think.
Okay, but but ATVs.
Yes.
And walking.
Yes.
And from what I recalled, and maybe this wasn't this early, but they were tying pink ribbons to the trees to let people know that area had been searched.
In some places.
Some places. Because again, how many acres are we talking about?
I don't know. It's
millions.
Take a map, and most children that age are found within 4/10 of a mile of where they went missing. So you make that circle, then you go out to a mile, and then a mile and a half, 2 miles, so on. And it's a lot of country.
He's 2 years old.
2.5.
2.5 at the time. And what was he wearing?
He had on like a camouflage top, kind of a jacket, and then he had like some blue kind of pajama pants, and then some camouflage cowboy boots.
And were any of those things found at the campground?
No.
None of those items. Were any of his belongings found?
I'm not sure.
Like other clothes in a suitcase.
He had there was a I don't know, like a diaper bag kind of a thing that had other clothing.
So they had a diaper bag up there that his clothes were in.
Yeah. That'd be the best way to describe it, I guess.
After a few days, no sign of him. There's searches. As law enforcement, as anyone really, you hate to immediately cast people as you did something, as suspects, because who knows? I mean, this child really could have just wandered away and disappeared, or there's a variety of situations. But you also have to keep in mind, I would imagine, as an investigator, you have to keep in mind that maybe something nefarious happened.
you got to have an open mind.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more than one possible theory.
So as you're meeting with the 4 people on the campground, that for those who are just tuning into the story, you have mom, Jessica, dad, Vernal Dior Sr., you have Grandpa Bob, and you have a friend of Grandpa named Isaac.
Mhm.
As you're meeting with those 4, what is sticking out to you?
Well, in the beginning, I went up the very next morning with the search. And when we talked to people, it sounded just like they had come back from Lenore, left little Dior with Grandpa, gone fishing for a little while. When they came back, they couldn't find him.
So they had left the campsite, driven the 7 miles to the store.
Yeah,
Earlier.
it's maybe a little bit more than that.
A little more than 7 miles
Yeah.
with baby Dior,
Yes,
and then turned around, came back to the campsite,
yes,
went fishing with the child or without the child. They thought child was with Grandpa. Grandpa thought Dior was with them,
yes.
and they came back and he's gone. So in the beginning, you're treating this like a missing kids case or
Yes.
something more?
No, it was, the way this started out is pretty consistent when somebody goes missing, they're just lost. And that was the way we were treating it.
There in the beginning, were there any red flags? Anything that didn't feel quite right?
Not right away.
At what point were there some red flags?
That I would probably say actually that came a little later,
Where
when we were starting to interview more and things like that, without going into any real specific
sure.
details.
So, because I remember chatting with you up at the campsite during the beginning phases of this, and you said you were good with the parents, you were
Right.
good with everybody up there.
Right.
It wasn't like there was, anything that was an immediate, hold up, something's not right. Could an animal have taken him? Were you all thinking about that up there?
That's certainly a possibility.
And what type of animals?
There's wolves, there's bears, there's lions, and fairly good numbers in that area. And I know there's been other people associated with the case that have said, "Oh, we ruled that out," but I have not. They don't speak for me. Statistically, that's next to impossible for that to have happened, but they're there. He was there.
And you haven't ruled out an animal.
No.
What about abduction? Could someone have come in the campsite and taken him?
That's another one of those possibilities, however remote. It would have been extremely difficult.
And as we talked about, someone probably would have heard something, because you would need a vehicle or a horse or something to take the child out on.
Well, it would just be very difficult to accomplish that.
Yeah.
And then you got the one way out that's very rough and very slow, but that possibility certainly remains.
By day 3 or 4, horses are brought in. ATV searches continue.
Mm-hmm.
There's still the helicopter in the air. And at any point, was there any sign of baby Dior?
No.
So some might say, was he even up there to begin with?
A lot of people think that he wasn't.
What do you think?
I think he was, from everything we've been able to put together, timeline. There's nothing that says that he wasn't.
Was there a diaper tied to a tree?
Excuse me. There was a diaper in a small trash bag
That was up there.
hanging from a tree.
Okay.
In the campground on the edge.
All right. So time goes on. No sign of Dior.
Right.
Parents are communicating with you.
Yes,
The story gets national attention.
it does.
And does your office start getting tips from people across the country of possible sightings
Yes,
and theories?
yes.
And what happened with those calls?
You know, as far as the sightings go, there's some where you have enough information, you can pursue it to some degree. You start asking help from other agencies where it occurred. I don't know how many times I've been asked if we pump the outhouses
Yeah.
up there or not.
Okay, so let's clear that up now, because there are outhouses. There was one right there by the camp.
Yes,
You're saying those were pumped and checked.
yes, on day 3.
Day 3. Okay,
Right,
nothing.
and they were probed before the first day, and then we'll go ahead and pump them out and make sure. So,
All right, let's talk about the reservoir, because there was some focus there in the beginning with the cadaver dogs
right,
and the divers really focusing on the reservoir, which the campsite from where they were was below the reservoir.
yes,
So for him to get up there, I walked it, and it took me. I mean, it's not an easy hike. You could do it, but for a 2-year-old in oversized cowboy boots to get up there, that would be a little difficult.
depends which way he went and whether or not he took his boots off.
Okay, good point. But you did focus on the reservoir, and why was there such an intense focus on that body of water?
It was because of the canine interaction.
And that's because there was something in the reservoir.
Well, even before, even in the first few hours, we had some canine indication that maybe he went that way. And so we started diving that, and then I think it was day 3, we were kind of restructuring, and there was someone that did dump, and I think it's pretty common knowledge that someone dumped some cremains into the reservoir.
Right at the time that in the midst of this early stages of the investigation, somebody went to the reservoir and put cremains in there, and that's why the dogs were focused on there.
That's certainly one reason.
Okay.
Whether there was another, we dove it multiple times, and we side sonared it. Helicopter, it's very clear in the helicopter. That first night flew it and looked really good. They were the opinion that he wasn't in there.
That he was not.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you focus on the reservoir, you focus on the campsite, you search all around. There's nothing. Let's fast forward several months, and it came out that the parents were named persons of interest or suspects, depending on how you phrase that. What does that mean? They've never been arrested and never been charged. We want to make that clear. But what does that mean? Was that kind of a way to hopefully get them to open up to announce that, or?
That really wasn't my push at that time, and so I'm not real sure exactly what the motivation or thinking was behind that. There's certainly, some concerning some of their behavior, some troubling aspects to it.
Have the stories between the 4 people up there been straight? Been consistent with each other?
To a large degree. There's been some inconsistencies, which isn't particularly unusual. The timeline that we have, it doesn't disprove that initial story. It doesn't necessarily prove it either, but we were able to put a pretty decent one together. But so they are kind of in that limbo stage.
In the 6 years since this happened, have the parents continued to cooperate with you?
Yeah, they're accessible. If I need to talk to them or ask a question, we're able to do that.
How about Isaac?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Grandpa Bob has passed away, for those unfamiliar, but up until his death, was he available? And
Yeah.
And, I think every summer since, you've gone back to the campground and done searches that aren't public. You'd hate to get a bunch of people up there, but one of the thoughts is, during those searches, because it's been so long and so many people have been through the campground, I mean, is there any sort of evidence that could be left up there at this point?
There is. I mean, you look at the elevation and the climate and the weather up there, and if you're on the east or north slope, you're under snow for close to 6 months out of the year. So, and then after that, it's a dry climate, so things,
Okay, sorry guys, my mic was off because my dogs are barking their little faces off. I'm confused. Somebody said about a bear attack and the guy watched the bear eat his child. No, I'm gonna continue it, but I'm trying to figure out the mountain girl, the mountain lion, the bear, the bobcat. So if you guys could put in chat, I've got the mountain girl video lined up, but I remember somebody was saying about a bear eating somebody, and then I heard the bear ate Dior. Is that what they were thinking, or am I confused? If you can tell me in the chat, I'm going to start the video again. Okay. Let me finish this video, guys. And the point of this video too is not that this little boy has been missing for 6 years, but I mean, I just can't even think about Summer Wells not being found for a long time.
they don't decay that fast.
I believe a year or two, maybe 3 now, you all found a hunter who had died years ago, or his body was recovered.
Yeah, that was in 07 we did that. He went missing in
1975, and he was found in 2007.
I believe it was 2007.
So it's not unheard of.
No.
To still find human remains. There have been private investigators brought into this.
Yeah.
That some have been more public than others, or all have been public in one way or another. And there was the one a few years ago who made some noise because he said that he found human remains there at the campsite, or a bone. And you all did investigate that lead, but what did that turn out to be?
That was actually a bone that I picked up.
It was a bone you found?
Yes, he was up there at that time, and I was walking around, and which we find bones all the time. It's pretty routine.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that works, if we can't tell what they are, then we'll photograph it, and we'll send it into an anthropologist, and then they'll look at it and they'll say yay or nay, or you better send it to me. So this one they requested, we send it, so we send it, and then they do, I believe it's called a micro thin section, where they take a very tiny slice of it and look at it under a microscope. And then you can't always tell from that though either. So this particular bone came back the way they said we cannot rule out it not being a young human. So then it gets forward after that, then you're do your DNA testing.
Wow. And that turned out to be
Well, when we sent it to with the FBI, it went to Quantico, and they did nuclear and mitochondrial. And after the nuclear test, they said, "No, we didn't find anything." Usually, don't find mitochondrial if that's the case, and they weren't able to find any.
So it was an animal?
I don't know. It just the DNA wasn't there. So I mean, I had two esteemed anthropologists say it looks like it. I had two esteemed bloodhounds say it was, but
Interesting.
the
Wow.
lab said
No.
no.
Have you done searches at the parents' home or other places?
Those were done early on, yeah.
And nothing.
Well, there was things collected and you know, that type of thing. It's kind of a routine thing you would do in a case like this.
Yeah. There's been so many rumors about this case from day one, really. Social media posts and things like that. Are there any rumors you want to clear up today about things that have been said that aren't true, or things that maybe are true but have been twisted?
I think the main, kind of one of the main things for me is that there's been people associated with the case that have formed opinions. We've ruled this out or we've ruled that out, and that's fine. They can have that opinion, but I just, they don't speak for me or this particular case. That's ownership on their part of what they have or think or believe. And, we still kind of keep our eyes open, and there's multiple theories as to what could have happened. And we try to explore them all as we get information that comes in. So,
how many sleepless nights have you had?
I don't know. A few.
I would imagine. You've done great work from day one. The FBI's helped. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
The bear ears. Is that what they call it? Two Bear out of Montana. Other agencies have come in to help.
Yeah. In the spring of 2016, we did a surge where we had search and rescue units from all over the state came up. And we had a very large scale search at that time. I believe in the 2.5 days, we had 1,300 man hours put in up there on that. So there's been a lot of people that have really given up a lot of their personal time to come and help and search.
To this day, has there been any sign of Dior anywhere since the camping site, since the camping trip?
I don't believe so.
No surveillance footage anywhere?
Well, you're talking about after
or the day of the trip, like showing maybe, okay, they stopped here for gas and they got them on camera. They stopped here.
No.
Nothing. Which we should point out that store in Ledore, it's remote. I can understand why they might not have cameras up. So where does the case stand today?
So the way we've been working is every time we go up and we do a search, okay, we look at that, we apply it to other work that we've already done. You get information that comes in, you look at that, you review and you apply it to what you have, and pretty soon you start to have this, it's almost like it is a book. It's kind of layered where when you combine those things, and then you you kind of seek your direction as to what your next priority is and what you're going to do next.
And what is that?
Well, we have another search planned for this summer. Well, normally we have one pretty large one, and then we'll have maybe do some follow-up with the smaller groups.
Are there old mines in the area surrounding the campground?
Not real close.
But you could get to them and mine shafts.
Yeah.
Wolf dens?
Yes.
With active wolves?
Yes.
But again, there's never been any sort of clothing material found, or leather boots or bones or teeth?
Not yet.
So I'm sure you've been asked this. I'll ask you again. What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened to him. I mean, you have those. Was he abducted? Was he a victim of, some type of foul play from one or four or more? Or was it some type of a nature take? And by that, I mean, he could have slipped out of there and we just failed to find him. He could have moved out a little ways, encountered a large predator. I guess I would say it's one of those three.
Yeah. I remember you telling me, I've never forgotten what you told me that the first time we met, that the mountains have a secret.
They can keep a secret.
They can keep a secret. The mountains can keep a secret. But usually that secret eventually comes out. Or not.
Well, 1975 to 2007.
I guess this is one of the cases that you're hoping is solved by the time you decide to retire.
I hope it's solved this summer. But, I've thought that a lot of times. But
what else do you want people to know?
We're still working the case. And we haven't given up. He's a little boy that went missing. He was lost, and when someone's lost, you look for him. So we'll continue to investigate, and we'll continue to search for him, because
the search isn't over.
He deserves to be found.
I hope it's this summer too. Well, Sheriff Penner, thank you so much for chatting with us. If you have any legitimate information about where Dior can be, 1-800-THE-LOST. If you call that number, they will be sure that the sheriff is notified. And again, hopefully our next interview is one of resolve.
Different. Yeah.
Different, yeah.
Oh, that broke my heart. He was so emotional at the end. Oh, Trixie, that was sad. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out this Mountain Girl real quick, and then we are going to wrap it up because I have to get to the real world. Oh, Trixie Cat, I'm sorry. I didn't watch it through to the end. I didn't realize he got that emotional. But he definitely holds that little boy close to his heart. So let's go hear about Mountain Girl. I've never heard of Mountain Girl. Yeah, it's okay. So is she the one that is talking about the bear attack? Let's go see what this is about. Okay, Shredder, what happened to the bear attack? Thank you very much, Trixie Cat. I appreciate that. Monkey Mart, thanks for all the updates. Take care, everyone. Prayers for all our children. You are correct, guys. Prayers. Okay, Reverend Donna talks about the bear. And is that recent that she's talking about the bears? Does she say she thinks that maybe Summer was taken by a bear? All right, let's see. 1 second. All right, let's see. Oh, she's a psychic. Okay. Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right, I want to see who this mountain girl is because I've never seen her. One second. Let's go see who the mountain lady is. Oh, but real quick, guys, I want to show you something that's really scary. And then I'm just going to show you these statistics of the missing kids. I remember somebody yelled at me and told me there aren't 30,000 kids missing. I thought, you know what? There's more than 30,000 kids missing. Guys, check this out. Look at how scary this is. Now, this is from the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, all around the world. And this is every year. Hi, Allie George. I actually had a psychic that mentioned me on Grace the other night or something, and it was funny. Someone sent me the link, and I went to listen to it, and she was smoking, and I forget what she said, but it was funny. But look at these numbers. Australia, 20,000 children go missing a year. Canada, 45,288 reported missing each year. 100,000 in Germany. India, 96,000. Jamaica, 1,984 reported missing in 2015. Russia, 45,000, 2015. Spain, 20,000 reported every year. United Kingdom, 113,000 every year. The United States, 460,000 children are reported missing every year from the FBI and the NCIC. Oh, it's getting worse, Shreddertainment. Look at those numbers. 460,000 of our children go missing every year. You can't make these numbers up. But it's only a snapshot of the problem in many countries. Statistics on missing children are not even available, and unfortunately, even available statistics may be inaccurate due to under-reporting and under-recognition. Yeah, this guy was yelling at me when I said probably 30,000 kids go missing a year because I didn't really look at a 460,000 number. He's like, no way 30,000 kids are missing. I'm like, oh, there's more than 30,000 kids missing. Okay, let's watch that video, guys, and then we are going to wrap it up. But it's insanity. 460,000 of our children go missing a year. You're correct, Ollie George. I look at that unidentified on the Name Us website, and oh my gosh, it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Let's go see what this mountain girl is. I'm going to drop her link too in the chat so that whoever doesn't know who she is. Oh, Juanita. Isn't Juanita the psychic who's over there trying to help the Wells family? Good old Juanita. All right.
Did not think I was going to be hopping on here. Hey guys, welcome back. I did not think I was going to be hopping on here quite this soon, but I was not going to leave you in suspense. So I want to go ahead and start off by many of you have been reaching out and commenting and asking about Juanita and what's going on. So I want to go ahead and clarify that. First off, as many of you know, there were several lives that took place, when she was there in Hawkins County and doing her searching and her investigation. And those were actually deleted for many reasons. First off, it's an ongoing investigation. Secondly, there were many people at the time, and probably still, who would have given anything to, be in her mindset and have that information and run with it and, take their own credit for it. So there's many reasons behind why those were deleted. Now, then there was a Facebook page that was created in hopes of being a safe haven to do lives for the right people and, have a, great avenue to get information and stuff of that nature. And that didn't take place. Actually, it was drama. There was somebody who was clearly on there doing things that, Juanita did not give permission to do, things that Juanita had no idea was going on. But at the end of the day, that page was then shut down. Okay. So of course, bad apples, trolls, and things of that nature have to ruin it. But on a positive note, she and we have spoken on the phone quite a bit. And, I know exactly what is taking place and what is going on with her. She is actually back home in New York. She had a family friend who had passed away. So she did go for a funeral. And she did have a grandchild who was graduating. So there was, a couple of things going on. But I was really happy. Earlier today, I had taken my youngest to the zoo, and literally as soon as I got there and I'm in line, my phone rang and I seen it was Juanita, and I hit decline and, threw a text and I said, hey, can I just call you back in a couple hours? I just got to the zoo. And so shortly after I had launched the last video that I did today,
Really shreddertainment. I'm gonna have to watch that video now. I think I'm going to watch it after I'm done with this live. I'm gonna speed this up, guys. If it's going too fast after I start it, just let me know. I'm gonna put it on 1.25.
As soon as I did that, I went, sat down, and I called Juanita. And I'm really happy to announce to you guys. Now, many of you are going to say, law enforcement said they're not working with a psychic or a medium. Okay. I've heard it. And in many other cases, okay, a lot of them say that. So it's not until after the case is solved that you will hear that. Okay. Especially if one is able to give credible information and a radius of where a person is, then you will hear that after the case is closed and the details come to surface. But I am happy to announce that Juanita was very excited that I had what she told me was I had to call Mountain Girl, and she was really excited. So it seems that she has pinpointed and very confident with where she believes Summer is and what has taken place. She has made contact with the right people and given all that information to them. So now it is strictly in the hands of law enforcement there. And I do feel confident that they will go and get working on that if they haven't already today. I expect to hopefully hear something. All of us hear something, hopefully soon, and praying to God that this little child is coming home. A lot of the things that she shared with me, and I can't go into detail for obvious reasons, but I'm confident. I was connecting a lot of the dots, and I had shared with her a little bit of the information that I had heard on the live when they were breaking down Dawn's phone interview. And there was one particular thing that I shared with her, and she immediately was just like freaking out. She's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And she said, the hair on my arms is standing up. And just to let you guys know, so she doesn't watch a lot of these YouTube, things. She don't follow people or pay close attention to the bloggers and stuff. She just doesn't like the negative energy. And it's not necessarily from the host or the hostess. It's the comments and stuff of that nature. So she tries to kind of, stay away from that. But when I shared what I picked up on, there was one key thing that definitely just was like the nail in the coffin for her. But again, she has reached out to the proper people that she has been reaching out to and communicating with since day one of her involvement, with this case. And I think that people will be surprised. I think many of you kind of have a direction of where you're going with this case and your theory of what happened and possibly a person of interest. So I think that many will be, I don't know how to say. I think that many will be maybe surprised, I guess you could say, by what actually took place. Okay. I also want to point out that she had stated early on, a lot of people don't understand how she operates and how she comes up with these things. She can smell things, taste things, stuff of that nature. She goes off of energy. She's not someone who closes her eyes and like walks down the street and says, oh, right here, someone is. No, she works with she gives the radius. I can't even explain it. And it's not my place to really explain it. And I don't want to say the wrong thing because I do respect Juanita a lot. But I just want you guys to remember, those of you who've seen the live where she had indicated that there are 2 cars involved. She had also indicated that she could taste Zoloft. All right. And I want to remind you guys, these are things that she had stated weeks ago. And also, very funny, Chris had mentioned about the lady at the swim hole who he asked Candace if she knew, and she didn't know her. Juanita had arrived 10 minutes after that interview took place. Like literally, they just missed one another. But somebody had reached out to Juanita and said that they were there and that, Candace was there. And Juanita just basically said, if you can give her a hug, give her a hug. And that person then was able to release that energy when Juanita had got there and had arrived. So it was funny that Chris had mentioned that hug. But also, like I said, Chris did request an interview with Juanita while they were both there, and she declined just simply because of the negative energy, the people who leave the comments and stuff of that nature. But she and I did talk today, and she did suggest that she and I do get together and do a live once this is all exposed and, Summer is found, because right now that's the key thing. That is what we are here for. That is the reason why I have put my schedule, my life on hold at certain parts of the day to come here to you guys daily. And my MO, it's not been for anything for money. It's not been anything for, fame, followers, none of that. And I guarantee you that both of our hearts are here for Summer. And no gimmicks, no bullshit. Whatever you hear on Facebook by trolls and stuff, there's no facts to back that up. We're all good humans. I think everybody, anyone who wants Summer found, we're all here for one reason. So please be respectful with your comments. You're entitled to feel how you feel, but I'm just being completely honest here. And again, I am a person of my word. And when I am wrong about something, I will be the first person to admit that. So do I think that it is a strong possibility that they find Summer this week? I do, especially if they take that information and they run with it. Hopefully the proper search warrants are being established right now. And I do feel that that baby is coming home soon. And I just pray for justice for her. And I pray that the people who are involved and responsible for what has taken place and what has happened to this child, I hope that they pay dearly. I really do. Just for the simple fact of how many people's lives have, worked around the clock on this case for this child. And the amount of people who have searched and searched for this child. And, for somebody and many people to know what has happened to her and just be this silent and hope that she's not found is really disturbing. So, you know what? I hate to say it, but when you do something wrong, you tend to try to make it right. And that's not happened here. And I don't know these people personally. Don't know any of them. I don't know Summer personally, but I can tell you that her story has changed my life. It has been a mission of mine to dig and dig and dig and to research and to bring awareness and, you know, to pray every day for a child that I've never seen in person or ever met. But I can tell you that she holds a very, very special place in my heart daily, every day. Every day I wake up and I pray to God and I say, dear God, please, please, please bring this little child home. And I think all of our prayers are going to be very much answered soon. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I know you guys have been, starving for an update, and that was directly right out of the conversation that took place with Juanita. And I think that certainly after justice is served for Summer and she is found, I am more than willing to travel to Hawkins County, and I would love to meet up with Juanita and a few other people and for all of us to sit down and do a live and to pay the proper respect to Summer. Again, she's captured my heart, and I know she's captured all of yours. That's why you guys tune in every day. That's why we are connected and bonded together as people. And I would just ask to do a strong prayer, and let's just pray that law enforcement can get this show going and justice to be served. And I will be back with another video.
Wow. Shredder, can you please drop her link so everyone can sub to her? She made it sound like it was a cover-up accident, and wow, that was just interesting. I wish I knew what she knew. Yeah, she made it sound, at the end, it kind of, to me, sounded like it was an accident cover-up, maybe. I'm not, oh my, that was interesting. But I wonder how you can taste Zoloft. I wonder how she knows what Zoloft tastes like. I thought that was kind of interesting too. And Joan E., during my mediations, I keep asking Summer where her body is. She isn't able to answer. I think I need to ask her, show me instead. I am Coyote accidental instead of a piece of candy. Yeah, that candy is definitely brought up a lot, and they definitely say a lot more details than I think are needed. Interesting, guys, but I'm going to sub up to Mountain Girl. I've never seen Juanita just at the prayer visual. Holding a puppy, right? Joan says, accidental cover-up. Mom pushed Summer in the basement. She then ran out of the house into the dog trail and fell down the steep hill, hit her head, and died. So that's what you see, Joan E.? Summer Moon. Net detective, I've even hooked up with people that use a spirit box just to see if they can get info, but seems like the missing don't ever tell you where they are. Joan E. says punished. Spanking her, yes. Oh, the puppy's name. Yes, Juanita's. Okay, I get what you're saying. That's interesting, Joan. But let me ask you, Joan, if she ran down and bumped her head and all of that, the dogs would not have trailed her to that little area? Like, they could know stuff we don't know, though. Or maybe the dogs just smelled her around that area before they did what they did. And it would be normal for her smell to be around there because she lives there. Joan E. says mom was following her, chasing her. Kathy knew Heard before, ran away from mom. I am Coyote. There would be a DNA splatter, wouldn't there? Well, she's saying that on the tree or wherever she banged her head. Lippy. I'm going to wrap it up though, guys. I really pray that we get some news on Michael Vaughan, Xavier Harrelson, the West Boys, Dane Elkins. I mean, there's 460,000 on a big rock falling down the trail. So, Joan, are you speaking of the trail that Dawn put in the video for Chris Madonna? Hey, Wendy Knox. She said she took Zoloft before for anxiety, depression when she lost a loved one. I don't buy it, but I guess we'll find out if she's legit. Yeah, that's true, Wendy. I listen to psychics and I like their ideas, and I've seen some weird stuff back in the day when I was younger. But so Joan E says yes. Lippy's lost. Interesting stuff, guys. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for coming in and chatting with me. I love you all. And I am out. I'll see you guys around in the other rooms. Have a good day, guys.